Welcome to this very special conversation. We are joined by Umesh Revankar, Vice Chairman, Shriram Finance. Welcome to NDTV Profit, sir. I would like to start by asking you, could you please take us through the, this largest strategic deal with MUFG, given the aspect in mind that you have sufficient fund there to push your growth for next 2 to 3 years. So what is the strategic rationale behind bringing in foreign partner at this stage?
See, basically, if you look at our capital adequacy, we are at 20.68 as on the last quarter. And since we have a borrowing from the international market, especially for bond and syndicated loan, and we have an international rating, they prefer to have a 20% capital adequacy, even though statutory requirement here is 15. So we wanted to remain above 20 at any point of time. That's the reason we were looking at some kind of equity raise. But when we wanted to go in for equity raise, we wanted to have a long-term plan. We did not want to have a short-term plan raising capital frequently. And since we were already at 25.3, we had to have a long-term partner to remain with us for longer. And that's the reason we have raised. And when we have a strategic partner, when a large institution is coming, you can't be doing a small ticket or small equity raise. Therefore, we made a large one.
Okay. But during the press conference, you did mention about that you are expecting a rating upgrade after this deal. What is the expectation there, if you could throw some light on that?
See, basically, if I look at my rating upgrade, post the merger of the STFC and SCUF, when we became SFL, we were hoping that a combined balance sheet and the diversified portfolio will give us a rating upgrade. And it was taking its little time, and then we felt that probably now with the balance sheet getting very strong, it will be a very strong case for the rating upgrade. See, one thing is there are two things here. One, strong balance sheet itself will give us an advantage on cost of borrowing. Because the lenders will feel more comfortable with a company with a strong balance sheet. Second, rating upgrade. So we have two things to talk to my lenders, so that the credit borrowing cost coming down is steeper than what it is normally if it all had upgraded to AAA rating.
So how that the promoter shareholding after this deal, especially given the fact in mind that we are seeing the retail shareholding dilution as compared to promoter dilution, it's relatively low. So how that ratio would be post this deal?
It's basically what happens is when a 20% gets added, the promoter stake is coming to 20.3, the new shareholder is 20. And the retail comes down as an overall portfolio. So it is just a mathematics number. So it is not that retail number is coming down. The proportion of retail is coming down because of the new addition of capital, which is a 25% addition. To arrive at 20, you need to put 25%.
If you could share the timeline as well, that when we could see the capital coming in, what is the timeline in the mind to seal this deal? How much time it will take?
See, basically we are going to apply for RBI approval and CCA approval. So we have kept 3 to 4 months as the timeline and the broader terms. It can come early also, because now I have seen the regulator and government are very much pro-business, pro-active in supporting the business. Supporting the business. They want to see the India's growth story to continuously to keep growing. And last 2 quarters, you have already seen that Indian GDP has grown 8%. Keeping that momentum really helps.
So, given NBFC sector in mind, there are a lot of steps government has taken in last few years and measures probably that how to, boost this particular sector. is there any expectation from your end, from the government side, especially since budget is upcoming? So is there any kind of expectation from the government you are pushing or you want government to sort of implement for the overall sector?
Now, I believe that government is doing the government is really doing a lot of things to build infrastructure, to bring down the logistics cost, so that India can become the export hub for in the long run. What I believe that government has to do is build a sufficient infrastructure in the rural India, because rural India, if you look at the agri-based income economy, around 65% of the population is involved in agri economy, which has 15% GDP. Definitely, the more people getting out of the dependence on agriculture and getting into some other activity or businesses or self-employment will definitely help the GDP growth to become much better. So rural infrastructure, rural job creation is very important. And that will also help us, because we being in the rural India, we can grow our business much faster.
With this synergy with MUFG, could you please also elaborate a bit what kind of innovation and technology they are bringing on board and how you getting benefited out of this deal on that front?
See, we have not really discussed much on what kind of a technology coming to the Shriram or to India. But we have seen their investment into various countries. They have invested in Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand. And they have also invested in Morgan Stanley. But what is very important for us is Asian countries. The investment, and they have built a robust technology platform. That should really help us in learning their experience. So what we can do is we can learn from them and try to get it into India, if that is really helping us to grow our reach much faster.
Assuming that this is quite a big deal for this year itself, so if you could also give some outlook for asset of return for FY27, is there any estimation you arrive at as far as asset going forward in FY27 is concerned, return on asset?
Yes, we have for this financial year, I don't really see a big change. We have been growing at around 16-17%. We should end up at 17% AUM growth for this financial year. But next year onwards, we expect to grow at around 20% year on year for next 4 to 5 years, because we believe that the strong capital base, lower cost of fund gives a lot of advantage for us to grow much faster.
Last question on the banking license. Of course, I asked you also during the press conference, but with a long-term strategic partner you have in place, are you not planning on those direction to have a banking license to enter into banking space?
See, you are a lender, whether it's a banker or NBFC, you are a lender. But when you are a bank, you have to have multiple activities. Savings bank account, overdraft facilities, forex, so many things are there. So we have no knowledge on the same. MUFG definitely has a knowledge in other countries. So right now, they have liked our business model of being NBFC, our ability to reach to the customers, and our constitution. Our constitution is basically vehicle financing, asset-backed lending, and creating a sustainable income. So that they liked. So they have been they are partner with this move now. So as we progress, then probably we have to look into whether we need to create a separate structure, infrastructure, or not. So right now we are not discussing that at all. They are very comfortable, happy being in NBFC, investing in NBFC.
Absolutely, and I think there's no immediate plan. That's the wrap of this insightful conversation. Thank you so much for speaking with NDTV Profit, sir.
Thank you very much.